We're bros and gals to a brand new video, and today we're gonna be reacting to MrWhosetheboss's newest videos, guys. But basically, guys, today we're gonna be reacting to one of Mr. Boss's newest videos about the iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro, and iPhone 12 Pro Max, guys. If you guys know, if you look right here, Apple did release the iPhone 12, guys. Basically, all the newest technology. You can see right here, most of these tech YouTubers have now reacted to it. Maybe they probably got the phone only, and so on. If you guys like the new iPhone 12 and how it looks, and all the recognition out there, be sure to subscribe to MrWhosetheboss and any tech YouTuber who reacted to, I'll list them all down below, guys, in the description of the video. And guys, I know what you think. I know I haven't been posting for a very while, and also you guys have been commenting on my videos. Most of y'all are not subscribed. I mean, if you look at this chart here, most of y'all are not subscribed. And also, make sure y'all hit the bell and use the hashtag #NowhereBrosandGals. Yeah, subscribe to me and turn on those post notifications and get this video live. And let's get right to the brand new video of MrWhosetheboss. And in case you guys know, I'm reacting to 3 videos. Two videos are pre-recorded, and I'll be releasing them all today, guys. 5 videos, all today. I know it's been 2 weeks. I'll go and post constantly every day, but I'm trying to save a lot of cash so I can get all my YouTube equipment soon. You got it, the point. Okay, let's get right to the brand new video, shall we? Let's go. Okay, which one am I going to react to? I think let's react to the phone comparison with the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 11 Pro.
The future.
Oh, guys, hold on. I know it's going weird, but yeah, we're going to
waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for him. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds. Planes are piloted from the other side of the world. The future's not coming. It's already here. Join us and be the future.
To be breaking.
Okay, so.
Okay, let's just do this.
Where's the standard iPhone 12? Okay.
Okay, then we got it. We got it, guys. Let's go.
So, just for a bit of context, I've been using the iPhone 11 Pro as my main phone for about 5 months now. And while I would say it's probably the most reliable camera I've ever used, whether you're taking photo or video, no matter which lens you're using, it looks good. I would also say that it's rarely amazing. There's been a lot of Android phones this year which have come out with...
That's so true. I mean, we got many awesome phones that have been released. The Samsung Galaxy, we got the Hawaii, we got the iPhone. You guys been waiting for these launches. It's amazing.
Massive image sensors. They've really pushed phone photography closer to DSLR photography. So I was kind of sat here hoping that iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro would be when Apple followed suit. So we ventured high and low. We took over 200 shots. We even tried filming a music video to properly compare these new iPhones to the old iPhones. Real quick, by the way, I have also launched a pretty big iPhone 12 giveaway. Rules for that are in the description. So I wanted to start with this photo taken on the phone's ultra-wide cameras, because you'll notice something rather unusual here. The ultra-wide cameras on all these phones are identical, but the shots on both iPhone 12s look better. Again here, my face is crisper, the menu in front of me more defined. Or here, everything from the texture of the floor to the details in the chandelier above me are better on the iPhone 12s. Why? Well, it's because of something called deep fusion. So every time you take a photo on one of these iPhone 12s, it actually captures 9 different shots at various different exposures. It then goes through all of them and picks the best parts of each of them and merges them. Now, the iPhone 11 Pro already supports deep fusion on its main and zoom cameras, but with the iPhone 12s, it's better, it's faster, and it works on all cameras. And that also includes the front. All 3 of these phones, again, have identical selfie cameras. And yet, the 12 and 12 Pro have like a whole extra layer of detail. Just look at my eyes or the fabric of my coat here.
If you guys have seen these photos, which one do you like better, guys? Which side do you like better? I mean, Aaron just took pictures of all the different phones, guys. Which one do you like better? The iPhone 11 Pro, the iPhone 12 Pro, the iPhone 12, or iPhone 11 Pro. Yeah, I got that right. I meant to go this way or that way. But anyway, let me guys what you know. let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of the iPhone. And spam that like button.
There's more. If you take a look at the main camera on the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, while Apple hasn't upgraded the sensor like I kind of hoped they would, they have given us a better lens to bring in more light. This is one of the new iPhone's headline features, and probably the best way of showing it is by going even darker. No, not that dark. You probably know that with an iPhone 11, when the environment gets dark enough and you take a photo, it'll automatically spend 2 seconds or so taking a night mode shot. And historically, iPhones have had good, but I wouldn't say the best night mode out there. So, Apple improved it. But I gotta say the difference is not as noticeable as I was hoping it would be. Apple says the new phones capture 27% more light. And I could believe that. That seems about right in a best case scenario. There is less green on photos. Everything does look a bit brighter. But unless you get really dark, it's not the kind of difference you'd even notice without a side-by-side. However, there are 4 situations in which the iPhone 12's cameras at night really pull ahead. Number 1 being the ultra-wide camera. Because while iPhone 11 could only use night mode on...
Dang, iPhone 11 only captures that night, but compared to the new iPhones, it looks so beautiful. I mean, some y'all at the time of this recording right now are updated to the iPhone 12 Pro. I mean, y'all uploaded the new
main camera. iPhone 12 can do it on all of them. This, as you'd expect, makes a world of difference. You've got more light, you've got better textures, more object definition. You've got the front cameras. For the same reason, iPhone 11 didn't have night mode here, iPhone 12 does. Then there's night mode time-lapse, where if you decide to shoot a time-lapse, the new iPhones can sort of automatically detect night and adjust how they're shooting on the fly to bring in more light accordingly. And finally, nighttime portraits. But before I get to that, I should probably explain LiDAR. So, exclusively on the iPhone 12 Pro, you've probably seen that there's a new sensor in the camera module. And what it does is fires out infrared waves to figure out how far objects are from you. And because we're talking about infrared here, this sensor works just as well in the night as it does during the day. So, while most phones, they struggle to get an outline of a person and take a portrait mode shot as the light starts to dip, the iPhone 12 Pro doesn't struggle as much because it has that depth information. You'll notice a little bit of an improvement in mid to low lighting conditions, a bit of extra sharpness, a bit of extra brightness. But if you go to super low light, I would say this might just be the use case that is the single most noticeable disparity between these 3 phones. iPhone 11 won't activate portrait mode at all. It's too dark, it doesn't even know what's what. iPhone 12 might activate portrait mode because it can see a little bit more thanks to the better lens. But the iPhone 12 Pro is the only phone that can activate both portrait mode and night mode at the same time. So it ends up way ahead. Now, this is all good stuff. I'm really happy that Apple has kind of fixed a lot of the caveats that came with the iPhone 11's camera. Like, oh, you can shoot this, but not in this particular mode. There's none of that with the iPhone 12.
True.
However,
True.
I can't help but wonder why a lot of this stuff isn't available on the 11 Pro too. Things like ultra-wide night mode, Android phones have had for years. But okay, let's just forget about night mode for a second. Because, let's face it, 85% of your photos are probably going to be during the daytime. So, in these cases, is the iPhone 12 basically just the same as the iPhone 11? Not quite. So, the other thing that iPhone 12 has running in the background at all times is the next generation of Apple's Smart HDR, an algorithm that's there to just try and improve photo quality. And I would say that it does do a slightly better job of looking at each element within a photo and being like, okay, we can make this part a little sharper and brighter, or, okay, we can make this part a little softer. Admittedly, it is one of those features that's very easy to kind of roll your eyes at. But having compared it to the phone that came before, and also some phones that came much earlier, it is a feature that makes almost every part of almost every photo you take ever so slightly better. So for example, in this shot, take a look at the brickwork on the left, or the leaves on the far right. Can you see that everything on the 12s is just a little bit better exposed and a little crisper? Or faces. It seems like these new phones can identify faces and just kind of lighten them up a little bit, especially if you've got a really bright background behind you. The clouds are softer and less grainy looking, and often a little better exposed too. Smart HDR is active on every camera, so even when you're taking selfies, faces are a little brighter, clouds a little cleaner. But you're probably noticing that I'm using the word little quite a lot, and that's because...
Yeah, Aaron. Why are you using the word little every time you like explain the about the new iPhone.
While the iPhone 12 is better than the iPhone 11, for sure, a lot of these improvements are so subtle that you have to look for them. The iPhone 12 camera is what I would call an aggregation of micro refinements. Another example of this is because of that LiDAR scanner and this sort of understanding of what's foreground and what's background. I'm finding that iPhone 12 Pro's portrait mode is more confident. It really defines the edges of your subject, the jumper you're wearing, even your hair, better than past generations. The person almost looks like they're jumping out at you a bit more. LiDAR also helps with focusing. It's feeding depth information to the camera, so the camera knows what distance to set its focus to, a little faster. Oh, and while we're here, side note, you'll probably have noticed that both Pro phones, they zoom in when taking portraits. That's just because they can, really. They both have 2x telephoto cameras, whereas the standard iPhone 12 doesn't. I definitely prefer the way the Pro phones do it. Also, the fact that they have telephoto cameras means that just generally when you're zooming into things on these Pros, you can get to at least 5x before the image starts breaking down. Now, actually one of the biggest features of these new iPhone 12s, one thing I wouldn't call a micro refinement, is what happens to video. It's actually two things, one of them kind of minor, one of them kind of amazing. So the first thing is improved optical image stabilization. So normally when you move your phone one way, your camera lens actually slightly moves the other way to try and keep images still. Now none of that's changed, the core mechanism's the same, but with the iPhone 12s, those corrections are happening 5,000 times per second, as opposed to 1,000 times per second. Can I tell when I'm taking video on all these phones? Not really. I'm sure there is a difference. I'm sure there are situations where it's more noticeable than others, but just generally walking around, I can't. I even tried running while recording on all three phones, squinting at my monitor trying to discern something. I couldn't, but let me know if you can. Now, what I do think is really cool is that iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro are the first phones in the world to be able to record, edit, and share in Dolby Vision HDR. Sort of. And that is not an easy thing to do. The phone has to basically record 2 streams of video at the same time, one high exposure, one low exposure, and on top of that, capture something like 60 times the amount of color information. And on top of that, individually color correct every single frame in real time as you're recording it. Dolby describes this as revolutionary as the jump from standard definition to high definition video. For me, I wouldn't go that far, but it does give you a lot of room for maneuver. Now, just bear in mind as I'm showing you this, that you're not going to be able to see the full benefits of HDR in this video. We've had to kind of compress it so it'll actually work with my video editor. But to kind of give you an idea of how it can make a difference, let's take this identical video shot on all 3 phones. Now, if we head into the video editor and dial up the shadows, make it brighter, crank up the saturation, can you see how the video on the iPhone 11 is starting to fall apart a bit? Whereas on the 12s, it looks exactly as you'd expect it to. I gotta say, I have found this HDR content giving me some compatibility trouble with some applications, but at the same time, I would expect over the coming years, this to become more and more adopted as like a standard format. And I should mention, while both iPhones can record in Dolby Vision, iPhone 12 can only do it at 30 frames per second. iPhone 12 Pro can do 60, presumably because of extra RAM. Oh yeah, and low light video is better too. Dolby Vision, combined with a better lens and an improved image signal processor in the new chip, means that if you really did want to film that music video, iPhone 12 will probably do it better than iPhone 11. Alright, I feel like this all leads us to a very natural conclusion about the iPhone 12 and 12 Pros.
I mean, who needs a vlog camera where you can all record on the iPhone 12? I mean, the iPhone 12, you're able to vlog anything, bro. I mean, that's cool.
Cameras. The iPhone 11s were incredibly reliable, but it's kind of...
But I just still do like the vlog cameras, guys. That's why I'm trying to save some cash so I can buy some. That's all.
With the next generation, they become more powerful with bigger image sensors.
I'm sorry, guys, if I was...
We didn't get that, but...
I'm sorry if my throat's kind of hurting me, but yeah. but I'm still doing it, guys.
What we did get is a phone that's even more reliable. It's addressed pretty much all of the weaknesses that the iPhone 11 did have. But that lack of power, of pure optics, of having a massive image sensor is felt. But that's where I think the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is going to be released in about a month's time, comes in. That's Apple's competitor to some of the Ultra Android phones we're seeing. That's the phone with a bigger sensor, a much better stabilization system, and further zoom. So, if you're someone who's looking to buy a phone right now, and camera quality is really important to you, then I would wait and see what the 12 Pro Max has to offer, because my guess is that is Apple's true next generation camera system, not this one. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, a sub to the channel would be absolutely immense. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Well guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe down below. If you like more of this, leave this comment down below and tell me about this video. Guys, that's it for the video. Make sure y'all tune in to another new video very soon, guys. This is another video that I'll be reacting to is another MrWhosetheboss, guys. Another MrWhosetheboss video. I think it's one of these videos right here. The unboxing one, and the drain one, which was new today. I'm about to react to this one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click on this. See ya. Peace out.